Hi, welcome to Dice Control Dojo. I'm Phil and I practice every day and share my tips so we can all get better at the casino. Today we're going to talk about finding a good coach. Since I released the video saying I had a coaching experience, I thought I'd go over how to find a good coach. What does that look like? What do you expect from a coach? And hopefully, what results do you get from the coach? Is it what you're looking for? I'm telling you that this is my opinion. I'm obviously biased because I've gone to the same coach for a while, but I want to tell you my journey on finding coaches, and hopefully you can use my experience to figure out where you're going to go. One, I just want to say you guys have asked me 100 times, who do I go to? What do I do for coaching? And I'm just going to tell you that I do not have permission to talk about my coach. One, because uh, two things. One, I don't know if what I'm talking about is approved. I could be teaching you something. Once again, I'm a student, I'm not a teacher. I'm just telling you stuff I have learned through the years, and it may not be exactly the way the different places that I go to talk about or want to talk about. That's one. Two, I didn't ask permission, so I don't want to do that. If I did have permission, I'd be happy to share. But three, I want you guys to do your own due diligence on this. And I'll give you some tips on what I did to find a good coach. And hopefully you can use what experience I have had and my craps crew has had over the years to do it. One, what do you look for a coach? Look, if you're starting out, once again, I'm higher level craps play, meaning I'm not talking about how to start playing craps. I don't talk about betting strategies, obviously, but I don't talk about the basics of the game, okay, and how to get better at that. I'm talking about how to practice dice control. So dice control is a specific thing, and I have a niche of people. It works out probably about 400 or 500 people that even care about this, half of which think that what I'm talking about is either good or bad or malarkey. But whatever the case is, we there are bunches of coaches and people out there that can teach you the basic game. You can learn that online. You can do there's hundreds of videos on how to play basic game and some basic strategies to have fun at the table. And some coaches will do that. If you're just learning on how to play and you're learning about dice control, they're going to give you some basic tips on dice control. And I've been to a bunch of people that teach you the basics of throwing, just some basic throw techniques just to kind of cut down your edge from the house. And that's well and good. But when you're going for a coach, obviously there are a bunch out there. There are a bunch that teach all over the country, all over the world. They teach on cruises, they have seminars, and they do a bunch of different things. When you're going to go find a coach, if you want to find one, obviously you got to talk to them. You got to be willing to say, hey, I want to talk to you about taking a class. What are your philosophies? What do you do? Don't just rely on online video. You have to research what that person's going to teach you. Now, if you're into learning some basic strategies of the game and some basic throws, there are some wonderful guys out there. And when I first started, I went to a gentleman that taught me some basic throw techniques, taught my boys some basic throw techniques, and we were able to work off of that. And read a million books. I have every craps book there is to mankind, and I've read them all. And most of them talk about strategy, and most of these coaches will get you in there to kind of go over a throw or two, but then they convert into strategy. And when you're there, if you're having a private session or you're having a group session, make sure what your intention is on what you're being taught is what you're getting as a result. I don't want to sit here in a session and we go over about 10 throws, and then all of a sudden we're going to sit there and talk about betting strategies for 45 minutes. I want to dissect my throw. I want them looking at it. I want to see what they can do to help me correct. And then I want to make sure that they're giving me some tools when I leave to be able to work on. And if they're like, oh, you're good. And also, too, there's a bunch of guys out there that'll come in. You may go in and practice with them for a while, and then they have a go to a live session, which is fun. You know, you want to go with a coach, and you're thinking you're going to make all this money when you get there and stuff. But the bottom line on that, and I've done it, and it's fine. It's fun. We had a ball, but the basics on that is, in my opinion, if they're correcting something on your throw and you're not practicing it enough to get it down to a science, why are you going to walk right into a casino right after that and play? Now, if you're playing to try strategies they've taught you, that's great. But if you're sitting there they're tweaking your throw and they're like, no, you should come up here and do this, and then now 20 minutes later, I'm on a live table and I'm throwing and I'm betting on money on a betting strategy that I was just taught, and I'm not comfortable with any of this. It just doesn't feel good to me. So that's my opinion. I think when I'm talking to somebody now, there are bunches out there that you can go to a private lesson, and there's ones out there that have a group sessions. Group sessions are fantastic. They're also a way for you. Private is good because they're going to take the time to dissect your throw. Some may videotape you. Some allow you to videotape yourself. So while the conversation's going on and you're kind of, trying to get in your head, you're able to sit there and refilm it. And then I go back later and listen. And so when I'm practicing, I'm like, oh, yeah, he told me to do this. And oh, yeah, my arm was up like that. I got to remember to do that. So a private lesson is fantastic, but a group session is not bad either. And you're thinking, well, I want them looking at my throw the entire time, and I wanted them to pay attention to me, and I'm sitting here, I paid all this money. But if you get a group of guys and you're dividing it up by 3 or 4 and you're going there, it's not always about your throw. We could do a few throws, right? And the coach can make some corrections while you're throwing. But what's more important is your skills to be able to see how the other person is throwing. So if you have 3 or 4 people and you're in there and they're throwing and he's making corrections to their throw, pay very close attention to him. Don't go back into your own head and be like, okay, they worked on me and they think I got to do this and I got to practice this. No, pay attention to everything that's going on, because diagnosing your throw, remember, that's a big part of my 90 videos is diagnosing what's going on. So if I can see somebody throwing next to me here, or they take their turn and I'm concentrating on what they're doing and their throw is a little off, are you recognizing what's going on so that when the coach says, hey, listen, your thumb wasn't up, did you realize that? Did you see that? Were you able to diagnose it? That's only going to help you in the end. So coaching, whether you're on a cruise ship and they're having coaching seminars while you're on a cruise, they have some of them, whether you're going to somebody's personal house and you're having one-on-one or group sessions with a bunch of your friends and keeping it light and that, I'm really serious. I want to learn as much as I can for the money I'm paying. I want to get as much out of this as I can. So I want an organized plan on how I'm going to get through this, and that's through discussion. You got to PPPPP. Pre-planning prevents poor performance. So if you're going into a coaching And you got to have a plan on what you want them to look at, what you want them to diagnose for you, and then take their tips to heart and see what you can do to fix those things. And any good coach is going to tell you, hey, don't just go out and throw. You got to actually go practice this change. And I got a lot of feedback from you guys saying 6 months, and I'm like, hey, look it, I'm not going to play craps for 6 months. I'm just going to bet lightly. I may do a little betting, just to get on the table. Do the classic 15 and 15. See if I can get on a table live, and if I'm doing okay, I may put a couple bets up there. But I just want to, I do want to keep continuing to go to a live table. But I'm just talking. I don't feel comfortable if I'm changing my throw 100% to go with the craps crew somewhere and go, okay, let's go to town now. I'm ready. I want to make sure, and as you guys saw in my video, I had some feedback that, oh, you changed your thumb, you changed the launch, you changed your arch, you changed your angle. No, I really didn't. Those are just really bad throws because I'm just at the beginning of this. What I'm first trying to get down to change is the way I'm setting down here. It's a little different. So yeah, if my thumb twisted or my hands released or I didn't do my circle, that's because they were really bad throws, because I'm trying everything new right now, and it's new to me. So the throw you're seeing right now is hopefully going to be completely different 6 months from now. That I hope I'm getting it down to a science that my SRR goes through the roof from what it was in Vegas. So I'm all over the place, and I apologize for that, but I'm just trying to get you to understand. I'm not going to recommend a coach to anybody. What I am going to recommend is you do some due diligence. You got to talk to those people ahead of time. What is the game plan going in? Do they allow you to video? If not, do they have video technology that they can send you after you do that? They may charge you for that, but what is that going on? And then follow up. If you do have a true coach, what kind of information do they do? I know with my coach, if I'm having a problem with my practice throws and it's just not going well, if I reached out to them and sent them a video, they'd be happy to, not an hour video and saying, hey, re-diagnose this, get back to me. But no, if I just send them a quick clip and say, hey, is my hand doing right, or are you seeing anything different? They'd be happy to help me, because they're very, very nice people, and they want to make sure that we got our bang for our buck. So I do enjoy private sessions. I've done them. That was at the beginning stages of my thing when I was just learning how to throw, and there was a lot of talk about betting strategies too, which I wasn't too thrilled about, but that's okay. I learned from that. The next time I go, hey, look, I want to just talk about my throws. I only want to talk about how I'm doing and what I can do to get better next time, and they were more than pleasing to help me with that. I didn't enjoy going to a casino, doing a double session of getting to a casino with a coach. One, the coach is never going to throw very well, or if they do, it's not going to be very long, or they may not throw. They may be watching you throw, and I'm not going to change my throw and then go try and throw that way after I just got diagnosed and it's all up in my head. So I don't like to do that. There are great seminars out there that people hold all over the country where you can meet a lot of friends that can throw with you. So if they're just starting or they're in the process of learning, this is a great meet and greet. These people at these seminars, and I've done a bunch of them, are wonderful people. They're really good. They want to learn the game. The coaches are good. You can go out with those guys afterwards. You can go, you talk to them during lunch, get to know some people in your area that maybe throw, and hopefully you can form a craps crew like mine, and be able to start throwing with some people that are like you. It's hard to get friends to throw. I am the luckiest guy because I got three guys that are deep into throwing control throw. Where would you find that? And they're good friends that I've known for 55 years and 35 years. So I'm lucky. But if you want to meet some people to throw with you, these seminars, there are a lot of them out there. Call the coaches, see if they're in your area, what you're going to learn when you go there. And also, you can start building some friendships with people that want to learn how to throw like you. A lot of seminars have different levels, and you could be a beginner or a medium or an advanced person and get to know people. And that's a great way of forming a group like I am. And, my recommendation is if you do find some friends that'll like you and maybe they're not that close, do a Zoom call like we do on Sundays. And we all have our tables out. We all have a minimum bet. Have a betting stuff that we do, and we throw, and we mark it down and see how we did that day. We do it every Sunday. So you might be able to find a group like that. And once you guys get to know each other very well, you can move on. So coaching, whether it's a private, a group, or a seminar, are great resources for you to be better at dice control. So I hope that helped. If you have any more questions about that, once again, I don't want to recommend anybody. One, my coaches, I haven't asked permission, so I wouldn't do that to them. But if they change their mind, they want me to talk about them, I would happy to do that. But any of the coaches, the many that I've been to over the years, they've all been good. They all have got me to where I am today. And once again, I can't talk enough how important it is to have somebody coaching and mentoring you on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, so you don't get into a rut, you don't get off of it, and it also excites you. I get excited when I come back from coaching. I want to sit down here, I want to learn my new throw, I want to get on that table. I'm good for 6 months. I'm charged, I'm ready to go. So I hope this helped a little bit. We're going to talk tomorrow about, tomorrow, I'm doing 2 a week now. We're going to talk next about practicing differently. What am I doing differently than I did before, and how is that helping me with my getting to goal for 180 days? So join me, and as always, I never talk about betting strategies, because I know that no matter what betting strategy you do, any betting strategy in the whole world except for the don't, as long as you throw for a long time, you're going to make a lot of money.